What do you think stands out most to you in terms of just your own personal experiences? Probably, you probably had some successes that are wonderful to reflect on. You probably had some, what we might think of as failures that you hopefully turned into successes or at least learned from. Is there anything you can share in that?
Oh, yeah. There's been many of both and over the years. And, when I think of what might have been considered an epic failure, there's one that comes to mind earlier on in my managing career. I know we're talking about leadership here, but becoming a good manager is also very difficult to do. I'll just add here as a side note. In my career, I can probably count the number of really good managers I've known on my two hands, and that's about it, that are really good at managing people. It is not easy. Far easier to manage projects than it is to manage people. Far less complex in a lot of ways. But I remember once managing a large organization, and I had one manager that reported into me, and he was a gifted and skilled engineer, but lacked the humility sometimes to double check his decisions and so forth. And after costing the company some significant losses by making some bad decisions a number of times, I finally came to the conclusion that we needed to fire him. We'd have to let him go, as this was a repeat thing. This was the most difficult firing I had ever done. Other executives didn't even want to be in the building when it happened. They knew it was going to be ugly. Security was there. And when I fired this gentleman, he was purple with rage and left there certainly hating me, as I was the focal point of this, as much as you could probably hate a person. And I felt very badly about that. I spent the next 3 or 4 years consistently sending him letters. And he moved out of state, got another job somewhere else, and was doing fine. But I consistently was sending him these letters for 3 or 4 years, never a response, just always trying to see if we couldn't mend this. And one day I received a letter back from him. And it probably was 4 years later. And it was a very interesting letter expressing some of his feelings and thoughts of what had happened back during that day, and then expressing honest gratitude for my having fired him even.
Wow.
Because of what he had done, and talking about his perception, and he couldn't see beyond a certain perception at that time. And, I keep that letter today as one of my most treasured, items that I keep from my career. And relationships are everything, and it's worth the effort that it takes to salvage them. It's a small world, and it always comes back around to you.